Francis Revels-Bey for Clear Blue Radiance here on the Resonant Essentials YouTube channel. I'm happy. Today is Thursday, March the 2nd, 2023. We have a very short episode for you today. It is entitled Your Better Days Are Coming. Why wait when you can activate them for yourself right now? So, this is something we have to do in the process of healing and wellness for ourselves. Let me put these glasses off. For healing and wellness for ourselves, we're striving to be able to come forward every day, do something for ourselves, and make things happen for ourselves in a much better way. So, before I get started with this topic today, what I would like to tell you is this. I've been doing spiritual counseling now for about 45 years or so, and it has been, I might say, a roller coaster ride, but every day gets better. And that's why I'm sharing such a topic with you right now, because I enjoy helping people like yourself gain greater clarity in your own life. And along with that, discover your true purpose. And, that purpose changes moment to moment, year to year, cycle to cycle in your own life because you are changing. So as you evolve, your purpose evolves. We could say in a general way that your purpose is to express unconditional love, to be a loving and a kind person. We could say your purpose is to be successful in business or in entertainment field, or be a professional athlete if you want, or a fantastic global internationally known writer if you want. However, your purpose changes as you change. That means your thinking changes about yourself, the philosophy that you have in life as it evolves, you evolve with it. Your whole life changes. So I really enjoy taking the journey with you to help you have that greater clarity in your life. And if you allow me to walk into your heart today, I want to present this topic to you. So one of the things I want to put here is our topic. Now, just so that it's here and so that you know it's here, I want to state it again. Your better days are coming. And you got to know how to activate them, because you can have better days right now. You don't have to wait till tomorrow. You don't have to wait till next year. You could have that time activated in your life. And there are basically 5 steps that you can do this. And it's the same 5 steps that you share with any journalist. Any news reporter on the street has the same exact steps as you have. And so this is going to be fun. I would like you to interact with me, ask me questions, leave them in the chat so I can connect with you. Hey, Linda Garcia, I was just thinking about you today. I was just thinking about you today. So as I put this topic, I'm going to put the short version in here, or maybe I'll put the long version here. And the long version is a part of it here. Why wait when you can activate them for yourself right now? So this is very important because all of us, hey Jackie, all of us are looking for some type of assistance, something that we can help move our life along, right? We all want to move our life ahead, but we got to move it one step at a time. So I want you to imagine you are interviewing yourself, and you're going to ask yourself, you're going to tell yourself, your better days are coming. Then you're going to pause. And then you're going to state to yourself, as if you are your higher self speaking to you, why wait when you can activate them for yourself now? So this is what you need to know. And there are many ways to do it, but there are 5 basic steps. Ask yourself these 5 steps. What do you want? That's the first question. What, WHAT, do you want? Because if you know what you want, that kind of what opens the door within your consciousness. The next question you want to ask, why do you want to do it? See, what's the underlying purpose, reason for doing it? Why? When can you do this? Now, in the title, I've kind of answered it as you want to do it now. You don't want to wait too long. The next question, or fourth question, is where can you do this? Where can you make this opportunity, this break for yourself happen? And the fifth point is, how are you going to do this? Because we all need to know, have a reason. We got to have a how behind everything. Every journalist, every news reporter on the street, when they hear of an event, they got to know what, they have to know why it happened, they have to know when it happened, that's the time of day, they have to know its location, that's the where, and then they got to know the how. What made this thing jump? What made this accident happen? Or, hey, a person's taking the walk of fame in Hollywood. How did they do it? Because you're experiencing the when factor and you're actually the where factor with them. But you need to know essentially how. So what, the word what means for you to thoroughly think and clearly decide. Thoroughly think and clearly decide. That means bring your mind, the thoughts that you have, and your feelings with your heart connected to it onto the same page. That means we got to if what I'm thinking, do I feel good about that thought? Do I feel like that thought that I have in my mind, in my brain, can I achieve it? That's what you're actually questioning yourself. That's what you're actually doing. Because you need to know the direction. But first, you need to decide. The late TV evangelist who became a positive thought teacher in his 20s, 30s, and his 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s on up, the great and late Reverend Ike, he would say in his Prosperity Abundance book the same thing. He said you have to decide what it is that you want. You can't have any clarity in your life. You don't know your direction. You don't know how to have something, do something, or be something because you don't know what it is that you're striving to put forth. So you have to know what it is in order to then flush it out more, like a painter on a canvas. When I'm doing artwork on a canvas, I've learned there are numerous ways in which to create the piece. If it's a landscape, if it's a portrait, there's certain background colors I need to lay down first. Not the darker shades, the lighter shades, the lighter of the lightest. So that means I might have to lay down swaths of white paint. And before it dries, before it gets, because I like to use acrylic, before it dries, I got to lay down some light, very light blues in there, and greens in there, and pinks and reds, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm using colored pencils, like I'm going to do something later today, I see it's going to rain outside, so I may not go anywhere. I might stay in or maybe I'll read for a half hour, but I want to liven my mind, right? I want to stimulate my mind. We do the same thing when we're studying, when you know what's at hand, the task. So the what is to identify the task, to identify what it is that you want to do. Once you become clear at it, then you can go to the next question. You must know why it is important to you. Once you know what it is, the next logical question is why? Why do you want the what? So when you understand why you desire this idea to be present, then you are now moving. See, the what, you're just sitting there quietly, like in meditation or a moment of contemplation. But the why puts you in motion. So here's the next thing, highly important. When? When is next, because you must realize the importance of doing it now or soon as possible. Now, the now and as soon as possible, sometimes for many of us, may take several days, several weeks, several hours to engage this energy that we have with the thoughts and the ideas and the feelings. But because we know what it is that we want, and we got it in motion by doing the why, it is easy to kind of project what when is. I was watching something on YouTube the other day, and I've seen it played out in numerous ways. They say the past is the past because it is something that has already happened, something that you already experienced, and it's behind you, it's in the past. Whether you had ups and downs or victories with it, it's still something you already have done. And then the things that you are hoping for, that you're wishing for, that you see, that you want to accomplish, but it hasn't happened in this moment, that becomes future. Then, now that you have established your past and your future, all you have in between that is now, this current moment. So, how can you make the now? Because, see, the now becomes your win. You know it's now. But here's an important part of that. You could be working on the now in every moment of your life. Oh, you got to eat, you got to sleep, you got to be with family, friends, loved ones, daughters, sons, grandparents, grandchildren, you name it. Maybe you need to go for a walk and see some things outside around you to see if anything makes any kind of sense to you. And then, what do you have to do next? Well, here comes the where. Because now you know what you want to do. Now you know why you want to do it. And now you know when. When is like try to get it happening now. See, so you're focused on it right now. So you're trying to get focused on it right now at this very moment. So you start living the vibration. But where is it? Where do you want this thing to take place? Well, depending on what it is, if it's a material object, you might say, okay, it's a brand new house I want to move into. Where is it? Or maybe you have strived for years trying to find the right real estate market, when to sell your house and buy the new location. But then you see, you got a brainstorm of an idea. Your ancestors and your guides tell you, you don't have to move. We're just going to refurbish what you have. We're going to improve upon it. Yeah, you're going to have to get some certificates from, the village or the city, town hall, wherever you have to go to, just to make sure that whoever you hire to flush out the house more, expand it, renovate it, give it a new roof and new gutters and things, you can make sure that person's licensed. And you're going to make sure that you could track them and see what their history of repairs have been. Then you feel better. Oh, you look outside. Oh, you got huge property that your house is sitting on. So maybe you can add on. So now you got to figure out, can you add on to the property? You do that. So that's if it's physical. Say you want a brand new car, you got garage space for that brand new car. So now you can go out and seek the car that you want, because you know it's going to fit neatly in your garage or around the back to your house, however you choose to park that brand new vehicle. Maybe it's a musical instrument. Maybe it's a baby grand piano that you can put in your living room. Or maybe it's a brand new acoustic or electric guitar. Or it's a cello, or it's a violin, piano, electric. You decide, you saw it, you want it, you see yourself, you've been dreaming it for a long time. So now you know that it has to come into fruition. The late Reverend Ike used to say, if you could think it up, you could think it down. That's the late Reverend Ike. If you could think it up in your mind, then you could think it down. You could bring it into fruition. That means if you could dream it, you can envision it as being solid right in front of you. I'll give you another example. We go out and we buy clothes. You see something that you really like, and you've been seeing it for months and for weeks, and you do the research. Then you go to different places, but just as you're ready to plunk down that price, that cost, you say, let me see if someone else is selling the same thing. Then you find out someone else is selling the same garment that you want. And guess what? They got it for $10, $20 cheaper. So then you go, oh yeah, that chic place I wanted to buy it from, they got chic rent. They got to pay for it. That's why the price is that high. But you go someplace and get it $20, $30 cheaper. So you find yourself moving. Hey, you're late to the party. Join the party, Swanda. So people, you look at these different things you want. Just like you go to one car dealership and see a Jaguar over there, and you got the money to pay for it, but your higher self says, let's go across town to the other Jaguar dealership. And you go over there, or you go into a different city. You notice, wow, I can get the same Jaguar, same model, make, you name it, brand new for $1,000 cheaper. Why is that? Well, a lot of things went into it, right? The owner of the establishment is paying bigger rent. When you went and saw it someplace else, that person's paying less rent. Therefore, he could sell the same car for less. So when it comes to what it is that you want, that's a definite decision. And you should never rush through answering what. Because sometimes what is not like how your intuition works. Your intuition is that first thought that pops into your head, that first impression. Usually you're on point. But sometimes the question of what it is that you want may take a little longer to assess it, to get the information, because you might be responding totally through your emotions. Many of us have done that. Many of us responded totally to our emotions. We saw a commercial on TV. We went to a movie theater. Well, they gave you 15 minutes worth of advertisements. You see something there. You get these coupons in the mail. You see something in the coupon packet that you like. And you got excited. And you're going to go, I'm going to spend $1,000 for this big screen TV that I want. And then you go and find out it's not the best. And then you find the reviews up downhill. So now you start looking at things differently. You don't rush into the what, because what can cost you a lot. Then you got to know why you want this thing and when you want it. We discovered as soon as possible, ASAP, ASAP, or now. But here's the next thing. After you know where you're going to put it, and there you can place what you desire to have outside of yourself as an extension, or you have decided that what I really want is almost intangible. I just want peace in my life. I know people that have a lot of money, and I have clients, they have a lot of money. They don't want to pay for the fee that I got, but they got a lot of money. I've had them for years, 10 years, 15 years. And what is their biggest complaint? They're not happy. They're living in a 1.5, $2.5 million house way up there in Parkchester, New York, or Shaker Heights in Chicago, Illinois. And they're not happy. Big house, 10 rooms, 6 of them things are bedrooms. They got all of that space, all of that property, and they still aren't happy. Why? Because it's not the material thing that's going to make them happy. Something breaks in there, they got to fix it. But if something breaks here, it is repairable, but it takes a while. We hear it all the time. That person's spirit is broken. They can't do it anymore. Therefore, they're just listless, or they start drinking, or they start getting high and shooting up and snorting, or they start walking aimlessly around because they have no sense of importance to themselves, to the community, to their families, to their loved ones, to their very close friends. And then they just disappear. Hopefully they don't commit suicide. Hopefully they don't follow through on that. So, we know what these 4 first questions are. What? Why? When? Where? Those are the first 4. Any journalist, any news reporter on the street, they got to answer those questions. So when the person in the studio taps in, you hear that delayed reaction, and then they're going to explain where they are, what city, what town, what establishment, who's involved, da 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 da. But the nature that created it. What was the nature of the thing that created it? So that is the how. How means for you to know through what system of support or avenue for this accomplishment that you truly desire to show up in your life. What is the how factor? Now, the how can be easily answered if you get quiet and go within yourself. In my numerology class last night, I was mentioning in the beginning how meditation and prayer is very important. No matter what your discipline is, no matter what your career or profession is, no matter what your skill level, you could have it 20,000% up the ladder through the top of the pyramid. But if you don't know how to use prayer for yourself, you don't know the right words that will reverberate inside of you and then burst out into the ethers, it doesn't matter what you have up here. Even though you may have the confidence and the sensitivity, but you're frozen because you don't know how to use your words to help create what you want. Your words, your positive thinking words, your animation with your hands, all of this together helps you with the how. Now, before I complete this, if this makes sense to you, type in 1. Tell somebody that we're on here for Resident Essentials. I'm on here today. I'm excited because this is my birthday month. I always get excited. From July to right on to my birthday, I get revved up. No pun intended on my own name. Tell somebody if they can watch it live now, or give them the link so they can come back later. I'm not the only one that has things on here. The owner of Resident Essentials, Michelle Vidal, she has videos in the channel. A lot of people, Johanna Rader, our astrologer, she has things here that you can listen to that can truly help you. Well, once you get to that 5th point, the how it's all going to come together, what does the how do? The how, the word how, the element how, lets you know how you are being supported so that what you want and why you want it and when you want it and where you want it can show up. So it's almost like saying these 5 words are interchangeable because these are the 5 keys that activate everything. The 5 keys that activate every part of your life, activate the process. You want to be able to step right out there. And once it happens, because people say, I want to give up, I want to give up, we all want to give up. It's not easy utilizing any psychic gifts, any metaphysical skills. It's not easy. It never is. If it was meant to be that easy, you wouldn't be in this sector of the universe. You'd be someplace else, trying out your slippers and your robe in another location. So I wanted to bring this to you. Thank you. But I'm only on target because through life's experiences and allowing myself to remain humble. Because we don't allow ourselves to have a sense of humility, we're not going to make it. So there's a difference between a multiverse and an alternate universe. Do you know there's bits and pieces of you spread out through this infinite galaxy that's having its ups and its downs? Did you know that your higher self, when you go to sleep at night, did you know that your higher self goes into all of the great central suns and finds itself and does its research? Did you know that? Did you know that when you meditate deeply enough and connect with your higher self, you're right there in the heart of the sun, looking back through all of the galaxies and can see yourself. Can see yourself on point and off point. Can see yourself having fun and not having fun. And you're trying to link all these pieces together so it's one big unit working together, bringing healing to wherever it is. So I wanted to make sure that you get this message today. Your better days are coming. They're always coming. Why? Because there's always room for what? Advancement. There's always room to do more. There's always room for you to become wiser, more confident, more humble, more compassionate, more understanding. There's plenty of room. But the minute you think there's no room and you close your hand into a fist, there's no more room, you didn't let anything in. You got to let something in. You have to exchange energy with the rest of the planet. We all do. It's okay to go on a retreat to yourself. It's okay to go on a retreat with other people. But eventually it comes back to you. Why did you come here? What is your true purpose? So I'm going to stop right there. And I want to tell you, thank you for joining me, Linda, Jackie, Swanda, for showing. I know there's some other people that will see this later. And, one of the things I always want to say, if you want to know more things about Resonant Essentials, RESONANTESSENTIALS, is located right here in Albuquerque. I believe they call it the Northeast or Northeast Heights area. It's right there north of Candelaria Boulevard on 3107 Eubank Boulevard Northeast, inside of the Scottsdale Shopping Village. When you go in there, it's usually open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Tuesdays, we have usually the dynamic duo of Amber doing Reiki, Amber J doing Reiki, and Nikki Bruton Phillips with oracle card readings. We got tons of people in there. You need to go to the website at www.resonantessentials.com and click on the link that says practitioners, and look at all the wonderful practitioners that have come to work here at Resonant Essentials. Do you know that Resonant Essentials has various classes going on? Michelle Vidal, who wrote her book that just came out, Mastering Metaphysics, she's teaching a beta course on it right now. You're probably late getting in on it, but she's teaching it right now, right out of Resonant Essentials. You need to find out what's going on there. We got some wonderful events that do take place there. Do you know that every second Sunday, the second Sunday once a month, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., we have a psychic and healing arts fair with some wonderful people. Michelle's there, usually Amber's there, I'm there, Susan Zumo's there, doing Soma Pi healing. I'm doing celestial iron portrait drawings with a colored pencil, and you're getting a reading at the same time. Lots of people in there. You need to come on in there. We have a woman by the name of Stephanie that has a beautiful array of candles, and they smell good and they work. You need to come on in there. We usually have, I believe, Phoenix Savage is there, better known as Chief Yeye. You need to come there. She's awesome. So you need to come once a month, the second Sunday, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., suite number 33, 3107. It's a green and black trim building. You go right by this little chicken hot spot, and it is right there on your left-hand side. It's right, the entrance is opposite Silver Lane's bowling alley. So that gives you a landmark. Come on in, meet us on the second Sunday, or better yet, go to www.resonantessentials.com and see how you can get in touch with the different practitioners. Their names are there, their phone numbers are there. So you can get a session with these great people. I'm there every Saturday, usually at 12 p.m., but now we've kicked it back earlier. I'll be there starting this Saturday with my Creative Pathwork meditation series. I'll teach you how to get in touch with your deepest self, eventually, which is your higher self. And I give you some basic meditation techniques. We have discussions. The class is just continuing to grow. And it's like cost you almost nothing, next to nothing. There's a fee, but next to nothing. Okay? And you're going to enjoy the class. I guarantee it. Come this Saturday if you want to learn Creative Pathwork meditation with myself, Brother Francis. I'm there from 11:30 to 12:30, starting this Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Come and get this knowledge, get this information that we have for you. We're changing the world one day at a time, one person at a time. Resonant Essentials is a metaphysical, esoteric school where you can find your path, find your gifts, and enhance those gifts and apply them to your life. If you like this show, give me a thumbs up. Make a comment now or later. Thank you for joining me. My grace is your grace. I'll be here next Thursday, either at 1 p.m. or 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time with another Clear Blue Radiance. I'm your host, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. And this is all I have to say, that my grace is your grace, because remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. Hope to see you here soon. And also come on over to Facebook to Resonant Essentials, the group page. Come there and see what's going on, what's happening at Resonant Essentials. We all look forward to seeing you soon. Take care now.